Hey everybody, how's it going? Craig here, Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys are having a good week. Friday night, time for some another cheers here, I guess. Yeah, having to drink the Michelob Ultra. I'm still fat, so gotta do something to lose a little bit of weight. I've lost 4 or 5 pounds the last week or so. Not bad. All right, let's get to it. Okay, part 6 of my epic dumpster find, the world famous dumpster find. I'm still in the hard rock section, I guess you'd call it, and stuff. And I got 2, 4, 6, 8, about 12 of them to show today. Don't want to take up too much of your guys' time, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. The first one I have is a band called The Buzz or The Bees. Let me adjust that a little bit here. There we go. That's a little bit better. This is a one-off band. I think they're from Chicago. If I just looked it up, and you think I'd remember. But I'd never heard of this band, but I kept it because of this man right here. When I saw it, that's Steve Riley, who played in Wasp and LA Guns. This is one of his earlier bands. This is basically a hard rock band. Pretty cool. This is a 1982 Holland press, and it is on Epic Records. There's no inner sleeve, but it has the classic Epic logo on there. Nice and shiny, of course. I've played it a couple of times. It's pretty good. Just, early 80s hard rock. So, not bad to have. All right, next up. Looks like, there we go. Captain Beyond. This is a 1976 Japanese pressing on Capricorn Records. This is originally released in 1972. I really kind of dig this record. I love the cover, number one. And there's the back of it right there. It's got the... I'm trying to see if there was anybody in this band that I would know. I mean, I was aware of this band, but I didn't really know anything about them at all until I got this, and I've played this a couple times. I really kind of dig it. Funny story, the first time I played it, I'd listened to an album before, and that was a 45, and forgot to change it back. Listened to the whole thing thinking, what is this weird-ass music? I was listening to it at the wrong speed. It is not a 45. There's the insert. You got your English lyrics on the back. And it is on Capricorn Records. Cool Capricorn logo there. Like I said, nice, shiny, of course. But yeah, I really kind of dig that. Like I said, in these so far, basically... And the next one, too, were bands that I was basically unaware of until I found them in the dumpster. The next one up is Coney Hatch. This is a 1982 Netherlands press on Mercury Records. This is cool hard rock, too. Great cover. I love the imagery on here. Very cool. There's the guys in the back there. And like I said, this is Netherlands press on Mercury Records. I've played this, like I said, I've played this a couple times also. None of this is go-to stuff for me, but I do enjoy it. Just cool, like I said, 80s hard rock. That was 1982. And yeah, Mercury Records, it's got the blue Mercury label on there. So, but yeah, cool stuff. Back in there. Okay, next up, this is Elf, Trying to Burn the Sun. This is Dio's band before he joined Rainbow. Essentially, from what I get, this band is Rainbow. In the beginning, Richie Blackmore, these guys were opening for Deep Purple, and he dug these guys so much that he took Dio and the drummer and the bass player and then himself and started Rainbow, from what I understand. It's produced by Roger Glover. This album here, and this is a 1980 Japanese reissue. This album originally came out in 1975. I've played that once or twice. If you're expecting Dio, as you know him from Black Sabbath or whatever, that is not the sound you're going to get out of that. So there's the Japanese side, and there's your English stuff. It's cool. It's definitely Dio. You can tell because of the songwriting style, very mystical and stuff like that. But it's not heavy. It's not heavy like Dio solo stuff or like Rainbow or Sabbath. It's on Safari Records. Very cool Safari logo right there. Like I said, basically near mint. So I actually had a copy of that record. When I found all these, but I sold that one on eBay and kept the Japanese pressing instead because the one I had was just a regular US pressing, and it said something like featuring Ronnie James Dio on there, so it was a definite way later repress. So like I said, that one was from 1980. So all right, next up we're going to go to 1983, Fastway. Their debut record. Fast Eddie Clarke, David King, Jeff Shirley, and that's the picture. That's who's on the back of it. Isn't God? I want to say. I guess not. I don't know. This is a great record. I mean, this has got Easy Living on there. This is a great record. In fairly decent shape. You can see it's got some sort of stain right there. Kind of goes up the side, that brown right there. I could try to clean that up. I don't know if that's a stain or if it's, foxing out or whatever. This is a 1983 US press, Pitman press. There's the inner sleeve that still came with it. And it's on Columbia Records. So, and as usual, all these records were in really, really good shape. And that one is, but that's a killer record right there. I love that album. And then next up, another Fastway album. This is All Fired Up. This is a 1984 Holland press on CBS Records. And now it shows 4 people in the band instead of 3 people in the band. So, and there's your track listing right there. It's got the checkered flag and all that on there, just like the first one. All Fired Up. This is cool. I prefer the other one. I think the other one's a better record. This is still a great album, though. And that's got, sorry, my fingers are not working today. Still had the inner sleeve in it. Like I said, checkered flag. No pictures, just lyrics on there. And this is on CBS Records. So you get that cool Rising Sun CBS Pac-Man looking logo there. So pretty cool. But yeah, I dig that. Those are some cool albums. Fastway was a great band. I mean, Fast Eddie Clarke, what more do you need, right? Okay, after that, this is Foghat's Boogie Motel. This is from 1979. This is a U.S. Winchester pressing. There's the back of that there. Track listing on here. Somebody's Been Sleeping in My Bed. Third Time Lucky. Coming Down with Love, Paradise Alley, Boogie Motel, Love in Motion, and Nervous Release. Not a huge fan. I kept this when I did my purge. I thought about getting rid of this album, but I mean, look at that cover. I basically kept it on cover alone. It's just so cool, and then you've got, the back where it goes around. There's all kinds of cool stuff on there, so I basically kept it on cover alone. It's not something I'm really going to go for a whole lot. But there's the inner sleeve, and then in the back, there's your picture. of, well, looks like maybe some sketchy shit's going to happen there. This is probably the band hanging out here. Looks like a nice lady of the night. Maybe her pimp, maybe who knows. But the fact that he's got a video camera and stuff definitely might be a little sketchy there. Somebody might be filming some adult material. And this is on, well, let's see, Bearsville Records, which is an interesting label that I don't know if I have anything else on this label in my collection or not. Really, that doesn't really stand out to me at all. So, but I have played this once or twice. Not really anything I go to, but like I said, I kept it. I mean, more on that front cover, just great album art all the way around. So that was Foghat Boogie Motel 1979. Okay, next up, Foreigner Double Vision. This is a 1978 U.S. pressing. There's the back cover right there. Back Where You Belong, Blue Morning, Blue Day, Double Vision, Hot Blooded. Those were the big hits right there. Is Double Vision, Hot Blooded, and Blue Morning, Blue Day. Those three enough. Basically, that's enough for this record right here. That's to buy that for those songs there. No inner sleeve with that one. It's on Atlantic Records. Kind of a cool silver label. The Foreigner logo on there. So, very cool stuff. Great record. Foreigners, you know, it's one of those bands. When you're in the mood for Foreigner, you're in the mood for Foreigner. And I like it. And it was one of those earlier bands. We'll get to that album here in a minute. One of those earlier bands when I was like 12 or whatever. You know, Foreigner was all over the radio. Next up, Head Games 1979 Japanese pressing. First release Japanese pressing, it says. There's your track listing on the back there. Head Games, Dirty White Boy. There they are kind of hanging out. I always loved this cover too. You know, just a girl looks like she's cleaning up the wall maybe or something, but you know, leaning against that urinal and I don't know, kind of gross, but at the same time, kind of sexy at the same time. So, you know, one of those album covers that, you know, this is what I say, 1979. Oh, hell, I would have only been 10 when this album came out, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. So let's see, by the time I am aware of this, I'm 12 or 13. This is one of those covers that might give you feelings as a young teenage boy. Here's, hold that up right. There's one insert that came with it. Got the name of the band and everything on that. And there's the English lyric side. And then also you have the Japanese insert, but it's blank on the other side. And it's got all the Japanese language stuff on there. And that's also on Atlantic. There you go. Foreigner Head Games on Atlantic right there. More of a white color than a silver color. But yeah, that's a great record right there too. And then next up is the one I was going to talk about in a minute. This is Foreigner 4. This is Japanese pressing from 1981, also on Atlantic Records. And this is the album. I mean, this album was huge. It had Jukebox Hero on it. This album came out in 1981. I would have been 12, and Jukebox Hero and Urgent and Waiting for a Girl Like You, all those were the radio hits off of this album. And I mean, Jukebox Hero is just one of those songs that's got that cool bass line and the great guitar work on it. And 12-year-old me was just enamored. This was a great record. I remember having this probably on cassette when I was that age. So finding a copy of this in that, especially in the condition that it's in, was a cool thing to have. So this has inserts here. This is just a lyric sheet in English. There's your English lyric sheet there. And there's your Japanese sheet right there. With that, and said this was also on Atlantic. That's a cool center label right there. But yeah, I mean, this is a great record. What can be said about Foreigner 4? It sold millions of copies. We're all aware of this album. I'm not saying everybody in the VC has a copy, but I'm sure a lot of us do. So, but that's a cool Japanese press. And then finally, Foreigner records, Foreigner Records. I'm not sure how you pronounce that altogether. This is the die cut gatefold. So this one's a gatefold. Specialty press on CBS Records. And yeah, the inner sleeve is the die cut. So the record was in here and you pulled it out, and that's the inner sleeve. The interesting thing about the day I found these records is I had just ordered this album through eBay probably. I think I paid like $8 for one. And I'm like, I've got one of these coming in the mail. And then the one I got in the mail was in nowhere near the shape that this one is. So I got rid of that one and kept this one that was found in the dumpster because it was in better shape. Pretty sad when the one in the dumpster was in better shape than the one I ordered on eBay. The one I ordered on eBay had a torn cover and the record didn't look like it was very good shape. No, not to say to compare these dumpster finds or anything to compare to your normal dumpster finds. So if I had to go back, it's a greatest hits album. We all know this one too. This is a great one to put on when you want to listen to some Foreigner and you don't want to sit through some of the extra stuff and you just want the hits. So, but yeah, it's a jukebox. See, and there's the back of it, so you can hang it on the wall, right? I guess that's that's the design. That would be the back of the jukebox, but kind of a cool inner, them hanging out at a restaurant with, I don't know, looks like a couple of squares right here. I don't know. So anyway, that's it for this week. I really appreciate you all hanging out and watching me do this. I was really happy. Last week's episode was probably my most watched episode in the first week that I've ever done. I had well over 200 views, and I know some of you guys out there get that in a day, but for me getting that over the last week, having 200 plus views on one video, it's pretty cool. It's like 4 times as much as normal. I average 40 or 50 normally, and I really appreciate the 40 or 50, and I really appreciate the 220 or whatever that number is now. I also want to thank all the new subscribers I've gotten recently. Not sure exactly what happened. Kind of have an idea, but I've gained a few subscribers recently, quite a few actually. So that's kind of nice knowing that what I'm doing, people are enjoying. So, and I really appreciate you all watching. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll be back here next week with part 7. And like I said, there's 13. So next week we'll be halfway done. So I'm glad you're all bearing with me. Yeah. And I'll talk to you all later. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Cheers to you all. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there, guys.